Hello and welcome to Explore Hayat, and I'm your host Kashif Hayat. I really want to appreciate you for all the comments and the feedback which you gave us for this episode in part 1. So today we are going to play part 2, and I hope you like it more than the part 1. Breaking the habit of being yourself, it was a big transformation in my life.
I've had to change my relationship with social media, working with people all day. I'm in the office in the morning and I'm planning how my day is going to be.
I wanted a big change in my life, and I wanted to shift my focus, and I wanted to bring a new reality to my life.
During that walking meditation, I'm going to say for the first timer,
Such a beautiful experience for the people listening and watching. They would learn about the walking meditation, what you have done.
just a happiness and a contentment. And, I didn't expect that here on a beach in Jumeirah, this free walking meditation, first of all, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I see in the people, for them, even just to get connected with another soul is very hard.
Coming back to it, what can I do? I would say take one simple thing, changing your perspective. It's taken me the longest time to learn this one, is to be kind to myself on the way.
In reality, it's not that easy.
Not thinking about the challenge or the problems or the tasks,
This is beautiful, changing the perspective,
choose my thoughts and be happy with me and look around and be grateful for what I really have.
connecting with the people with more empathy, compassion, so the world will start to change.
And the more I connect with that vibrational frequency, which is there,
Yeah.
it's available to all of us, we can control our thoughts. Do I want to control my thoughts?
Yeah.
Do I want to take some of my power back? Gratitude is joy, it's appreciation. Now I'm feeling gratitude. Now that's the emotion. So we're connecting with our heart center again.
We are on the same page because we read the same books and we talk about the same things and we are practicing the same things. A lot of good meditations. Yeah.
When we have the right vibration energy, and this is what we bring to it.
Yeah.
And I want to see things happening with ease and things flowing and synchronicities. You used that word earlier. I love that word. But
Your treasure lies in the cave which you fear.
a number of years ago, I went to Cambodia and I was doing volunteer work with street kids.
What a typical day do you have in your life?
One thing I'm trying to do every day is to make. So what was your experience when you did the walking meditation?
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. And the best thing was, as you mentioned, it doesn't come at first, but somehow I had been really in a state. It came to me in the first time. And probably I was ready for that.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I wanted a big change in my life, and I wanted to shift my focus, and I wanted to bring a new reality to my life. And I was probably ready for that. That's why when I went for the walking meditation, although I didn't want to go, but a friend of mine, she called and she said, hey, look, there's a walking meditation and you have to come at this time. And I was in touch with you, but I never tried that. Then she said, let's go there. And okay, let's do it. That's the importance of having the good friends, those who can push you to do something good.
Yep.
And the environment plays an important role for you, even though I've been thinking about bringing that change in my life. It's going to be a little bit longer, but I'll explain you because it's such a beautiful experience for the people listening and watching. They would learn about the walking meditation, what you have done, what you're doing here now. So the first time when I came and I knew about the meditation, the seated meditation, closing your eyes, breathing exercises, and just focusing on your body parts and everything, staying in the present and calming yourself down, lowering your brain waves. But here it was so different. So I was standing with so many people. We were just looking up at the sky, nighttime, and just listening to what Dr. Joe was talking about. So you see yourself in this space. And you see yourself that you're traveling there. And after traveling, you see yourself that nobody's around you. It's all dark. And in this darkness, you're the only one alone. And I was focusing so much that I started to feel myself in this space.
Wow.
Focusing, being in those moments at that time. And then I started to create I was just following the instructions. And then I was creating my future. What I did after finishing this long meditation, it was for 45 minutes and an hour or something like that, walking meditation.
Was it the Walk for the World?
Walk for the World.
Okay, so that would have been 50 or 55 minutes.
Yeah, 55 minutes for me. Very unusual,
Yes.
but I still could do it. And walking meditation, but it impacted me deeply. So what I did, after it was completed, a friend of mine from the same meditation group, not the same friend who called, but a new friend I met that day.
Okay.
And later on, she asked me, how was your experience? And I said, okay, I will tell you my experience. It's hard to explain in words. Let me just pull out some pictures through using AI, and I draw the pictures and I show you.
Okay.
And I prepared today for you.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting for the viewers of the program as well. So I will show you.
Can I just confirm?
Yeah.
So when you came along for the Walk for the World
Yes.
on the 23rd of September,
That's correct.
had you ever done a walking meditation?
Never.
Because I don't remember you from any of the
No.
practice sessions.
No.
No?
No.
So this is a complete first.
Completely first.
Right.
Yeah, the first time ever. So I went there. So this is the first picture because when I gave a prompt to AI and I got this picture and matching picture. I started my journey a bit shaky towards unknown and unfamiliar future.
Okay.
This is how I'm coming out of the universe,
Okay.
coming out of the world, getting into the new future, because he was talking about the space, getting in this space into the new reality. So that's the first picture.
Okay.
This is, as I started to move into the unknown, I started observing and discovering new realities, which were unknown and unfamiliar to me.
Okay.
So this is the next picture. Now I'm getting into the unknown and unfamiliar. Then this is the deeper I was going into unknown and unfamiliar, I started to overcome the fear of unknown.
Wow.
As I was becoming familiar with unfamiliar, as I started getting confidence, I accelerated and continued to ascend into my new reality, my new future. So this is the direction. Forget about the gender in it because it just created this gender.
Okay.
But yeah, consider a male here. Once I entered in the realm where I overcame the terror barrier, I was calm and creative. So this picture depicts that I'm calm and I'm creating my new future. My new future, my new reality, new opportunities started to appear. As you can see, so many, these are like opportunities coming from me. I have to choose from what to do. Now I'm in the field and I have to create my future in that field. So I have to choose from. This is very interesting. After I created my new future as a co-creator, I left the outcome to God.
Wow.
Without controlling the outcome, and I was relaxed, considering where whatever appears as my new future is the best for me, provided by the God who is all-knowing and ultimate source of all creation.
Wow.
That brought complete peace to me, and I was being taken care by Him, and I started to feel that way. So I was so relaxed and calm, and this picture tells you that I'm sitting in now in the new future. I know whatever is going to come to my way is going to be the best thing for me. I believed in it. And that's the outcome. And here I am doing the podcast. So that was the new future I was thinking about.
Wow.
So I was not doing any podcast. I was not a media person before. And I was like, everything was new for me.
So were you doing podcasts in September when you did this?
Yeah. In September, I did that. Walking meditation.
Yeah.
October, November, I started preparing myself. Okay,
Right.
I have to start. I have to make a decision. I have to jump in. First, I was feeling like I'm standing at the edge of the mountain.
Yeah.
So I have to jump from this cliff. It was the starting point. It was the most difficult one.
It is.
And finally, I said, no matter what, you have reached to this stage that you have made your clear intention. Now you have to jump into the unknown. In reality, it's not that easy. And then I jumped into it. And I said, okay, I'm going to start it. And I started the podcast. I started in January, end of January. Now it's almost the 4th month. And then it's a new reality. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm doing it on a regular basis. So it's the new me.
Wow.
So you can see, if you want to bring a change, you have to initiate. And even after initiating, there were so many times it happened that I was going to stop. Should I continue or not? But then I thought, as the saying goes, your treasure lies in the cave which you fear. And then I decided, okay, I must get into this cave because my treasure is there.
Okay.
And I started continuing this podcast.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's huge. Now, you clearly have been studying various different work, and you've mentioned, Bruce Lipton, you've mentioned, and I see you've got Dr. Joe Dispenza's books there, and your ability to describe that journey during that walking meditation, I'm going to say, for the first timer.
Yeah.
That's not normal for a first timer.
Okay.
For a first timer, what people do normally, I was just so overwhelmed and just so surprised with the experiences that people had.
Yeah.
And they're just feeling a wholeness, and they're feeling love, and there's just a happiness and a contentment. And, I didn't expect that here on a beach in Jumeirah, this free walking meditation, first of all, for all of these people to show up, and the energy, just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, true.
You know, and, you know, HeartMath have these random number generators, and it measures frequency.
Yeah.
When the walk for normally it's a 101010.
Yeah.
And when the walk for the world happened, it was 11110111. You know, and it's just, so when we come together, and this is collective consciousness, and this is the power of a group of people with a loving intention, we can change a vibrational frequency. So at the beginning you asked about, you know, what we can do. So for me, I choose not to watch the news, but by doing these quantum meditations and like creating the platform, there's 10 people in the committee. They're absolutely amazing. Everybody's giving up their time. They're volunteering to hold these meditations where people can join for free.
Yeah.
You know, we do questions and answer sessions. We do some community events, and we do the walking meditations, and everybody is welcome. If you've no experience, absolutely welcome. If you've read some books, absolutely welcome. You know, and it's just, everybody comes there with love, and just, we want to raise the vibration frequency.
True.
So it's really good. It's coming from a really good place, and the people in the community are absolutely amazing. And because everybody's coming with a really good intention and a positive energy, and you know, you leave there and you've changed your state of being. So you asked how we can change your brainwaves. You know, like you leave there in such an elevated emotions.
Yeah, true.
You know, and before we start these meditations, now we always create an intention. Because when the intention, as I said, that's the antenna, and then our heart, so we have the elevated emotion, and we know we're going to get this through the quantum meditation, then we can help to attract our new future to us.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I can feel those energies very well, even that day on the walking meditation. And whenever I joined for those meditation, and for me, somehow it was not that difficult, probably, to get connected so fast. One of the reasons, probably because my upbringing was done in an environment where we have to pray, and we have a congregation prayers as well, joining together. And when we are doing the prayers together, so we are all asking for goodness or health or, you know, so that's how it's easier for you. You can connect your heart so easily with the God.
Yes.
So for me, that's why probably in the first attempt, it went very well. Because I knew what I'm going to do, and I know who I'm going to connect it. And because the feeling of compassion was already there, the feeling of empathy was already there. So I was connected with the higher energies with everyone around me. So that really helped a lot. And as I did one thing in my resolution, I wrote it down for the year, that what I'm going to do. One of the points in my resolution was, whoever I'm going to get connected with, no matter who, I will charge him or her with the positive energy. So in order for me to charge someone with the positive energy, I have to remain in the positive energy.
Beautiful.
So as a human being, sometimes it happens with us. We cannot maintain that energy level because we all have got emotions. And the environment we live in is not the perfect environment. So we try to create that environment. But this environment, of course, affects us, you know, and we know all epigenetics talk about this, how the environment affect, you know. So probably that was the reason it was easier for me to get connected. However, I see in the people, for them, even just to get connected with another soul is very hard. So what do you think? What they should be doing to get connected with the people? You said a beautiful thing. First, be aware of what you are doing every day. If you are watching news all the time, thinking about the backbiting maybe, thinking about it's all competition, a lot of this fashion and this showbiz, you come out of it, get into different state. So, but still knowing that people, they are not ready to leave those, you know, things. They are attached so much. What should be they doing? Of course, awareness is one thing, but to get connected with another soul, but what they should be doing?
Well, first, we've got to want to make change. Okay, if I'm really happy with my life and I'm very focused on whatever it is, and if it is the material things, and if it is a lifestyle where people are judging and blaming, and, you know, there is an expectation, you know, oh, she's wearing today, or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, we got to come back and we got to look inward again. And for me, it's, learning not to judge.
Yeah.
And, we've been so programmed with these behaviors and expectations. And so when we come back to just being you, and if you're connecting with you, truly with you, we've all had different journeys and different experiences in our lives that have led us to this point. But for me, the first question is what you're doing serving you? So if I decide, well, I want to have more joy in my day, so what do I need to change to have more joy in my day? And this isn't, leave home. This isn't change my job. This is, what can I do? Because this is internal, and how I perceive something. So I can change my view about something. And instead of, in Ireland, we say, your glass is half full or it's half empty, but it might be, if we were to take a situation and it might be describing someone, and instead it's finding something in beauty, finding something loving or really nice to say about that situation. And it might be even, let's say something, my boss is really loud, and it could be that my boss is really passionate. It's changing how we view a situation.
Yeah.
It might be changing how I tell an old story.
Yeah.
So I tell the old story of, I never guess what happened to me, and where I'm a victim.
Yeah.
And as long as I see myself as a victim, I'm going to produce the same chemicals in my body than when that situation happened. But if I change it and I go, wow, yeah, that was an amazing couple of years. And during that time, these are the experiences I had, and this is what I learned about life. And it's been really amazing. So if I change that to a beautiful story from that sad story, then I'm now changing my emotion. So coming back to it, what can I do? I would say take one simple thing and try and find joy in it. And instead of complaining about what somebody has done, isn't it amazing that they've done this, this, and this?
Yeah.
So changing your perspective.
This is beautiful. Changing the perspective. See the positive in things, as you mentioned. Maybe he has got a bad day if he's shouting like that, or somebody is giving the horn while you're driving the car, and you just say, maybe he's in a rush, maybe his wife is not feeling well, a child, something. So I must give away. Don't mind it. Let them go. So just changing the perspective. This is so beautiful. If we start to see things positively, the more positive outcomes will start to come in our life. We all understand that. You mentioned about the programming. I was listening to Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and when he was talking about the Matrix, and he mentioned Matrix is not a movie, it's a documentary. What if people start to understand that documentary, that we live in this Matrix? What is your say on that?
I think we as individuals can take back control, and we can empower ourselves. And when we realize that we can control our thoughts, that's number one. And I guess number two is, do I want to control my thoughts?
Yeah.
Do I want to take some of my power back? Do I want to watch less marketing of, this is how you need to live your life. You need to be this shape, this size, have these material things in order to be happy? Or do I choose to just choose my thoughts and be happy with me and look around and be grateful for what I really have? So, okay, you've mentioned the Matrix, but I'm saying simply, come back to me. Does it serve me? And if that doesn't serve me, well, maybe I want less of it, or maybe I'm going to change my story about how I see that. Maybe I'm going to try and be less judgmental. I love what you said about when you have an interaction with someone, you talked about energy sharing. And one of the greatest gifts we can give people is our energy. And over the last couple of years, I've started looking at our energy differently. And looking at it now, it's something we should learn as kids and just be so aware of, because you asked earlier, we are vibrational beings and our energy. And, my dad, who's 93 now, and every interaction he has with someone, he wants to make someone happy. He wants to make that person smile. It doesn't matter what role they are, and in fact, it's the person who's getting the least attention is the person who will get most attention from him. And I think that's something I really love.
This is so beautiful. People are getting least attention. Us get the most tip.
He does that.
I will share one story in the morning. What happened? This is something as I explained to you about the my resolution part for transferring the energy. So in the morning when I was coming here, I went to a cafe. I grabbed a cup of tea, and the guy came. I gave him the money and the tip. And when I was leaving, he said, "Pray for me. I'm going back to my country, so just pray for me." I said, "Okay. Have safe travels." And I moved my car and I drove. I stopped it, and I reversed the car. I came back. And I parked again, and I gave him a horn, and I said, "Please come here. So you're going back your home for holidays?" He said, "Yes." I took out some money, extra money, and I gave it to him. And I said, "Buy some sweets for your family." And then I left. And when I looked at the smile on his face, I enjoyed so much because that's the compassion. That's the energy I wanted to give to him. And this positivity, with this energy, I believe he took with him, and when he meets to someone else, he was going to transfer to someone else. But if you say, "Oh, whatever," probably his behavior would be the same with someone else. And this is what I usually say in my seminars when I talk about the CEOs are the leaders of an organization. The staff working under you, they're exactly the reflection of you. So the way you behave with them, they behave with other people and the clients and everyone else in the office. So this is so beautiful. If people, they start to live this kind of a life, sharing the energy, connecting with the people with more empathy and compassion, so the world will start to change.
And it's interesting, one point about your story there, you spoke about how it made you feel.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of the most successful people in life, and in order for them to be completely happy, it comes from them giving back. And we must never underestimate that power. There was a number of years ago, I went to Cambodia and I was doing volunteer work with street kids. And the joy I got from working with these kids.
Yeah.
And I felt so good. I was giving my time. There were some great friends here who had bought clothes, who bought shoes, who bought different things, and they sponsored. And I had, cases full of stuff that I brought with me. But I didn't give it out till just before I left because I didn't want to be seen as the person who was giving them presents. And I was giving them my time and the energy, and it was such an amazing experience. But I had such an amazing experience. Yes, they did. But it was, I also got something amazing. And if I look at some of the amazing things that have happened in my life, and the ones that have given me so much joy, it's about being compassionate and giving to others. And I think the more we can find that in our daily lives, and it might be that small little thing. And you mentioned smiling when you meet somebody, because when we smile, people smile back. So the energy, and when I give somebody a little bit of time and a little bit of positive energy, you see them smile back, and that lightens their day. And that's, to me, this is what humanity is about. Community, helping each other. We are all one. We are all connected. And more people are realizing this. So when we realize this, well, the more I impact and help others, the more I'm helping me.
Yeah. And that's sort of a community. The society is the world we want to see. That's why we are on this path. When we talk about the thankfulness and the gratitude, so how gratitude improve our immune system? I have heard this Dr. Joe talking about. So would you say something about how does it affect the immune system and it attracts blessings in life?
Okay, I heard Dr. Bruce Lipton talk about this.
Yeah.
And so when we have gratitude, and so it's gratitude, it's joy, it's appreciation. And you're right, Dr. Joe Dispenza does talk about this, Greg Braden. I mean, it's many people. So by having gratitude, again, remember we spoke about that elevated emotion.
Yeah.
So we said the thought is what am I grateful for? Now I'm feeling gratitude. Now that's the emotion. So we're connecting with our heart center again. So some people write out what they're grateful for today. Personally, I've got a A4 size that little vision board. I created it using just a simple Word document. You can there's free versions of Canva out there. Copy and paste your images, your photographs. So I have the things that I'm really grateful for, like my happiness list, the things that really make me smile. So, and then what is it I want to attract into my future? So yes, I've got my mind movie, but it's having this little visual so that I can go to, and they're my prompts, they're my reminders.
Yeah.
And that helped with my mental rehearsal as well.
Some people, they maintain the gratitude journal as well.
Yes. And waking up in the morning and what am I grateful for? What am I going to create today? I am so grateful that, I've got my health, I've got my energy, I've got my mind, I've got my mind where I can choose my thoughts.
So true.
And, my interactions with everybody during the day. But yes, so gratitude journal, anything to do with gratitude is great.
Yeah. Considering your schedule, you're a lot of time, you're busy doing the meditations with the group, with the community. At the same time, as a consultant, transformation consultant, you're working, meditation coach. What a typical day do you have in your life?
Sometimes it's teaching. There is this whole social media side, and you see me do this. It's that's where I've had to change my relationship with social media. So a typical day, it could be working with people all day. That might be coming home in the evening and trying to catch up on the WhatsApp groups or whatever. Other days I'm working from home. People are making appointments, putting the schedule in. One thing I'm trying to do every day is to make time for learning. I'm just loving the new information. And the more we learn about our energy, how we connect, how we can change it, and then it's sharing that information with people so that they can take all of these tools that we have got. We don't need to go pay a fortune, to someone to tell us that we've got it. They're there within us. So it's just us learning how to reconnect with us.
Yeah. So how do you find the time for learning then? It's like a morning, evening, afternoon, before sleeping. What time do you find?
It could be any time during the day.
Anytime
so
during the day.
If I have a full day teaching, it's going to be later that evening. I don't tend to watch television, and my husband might be watching some program or a series, and I'm sitting there on my iPad and got my earbuds in, and I'm listening to this. So I've got my Trello board, which is, I call it gift of learning.
Yeah.
And I'm typing out anything that I want to learn. So
Nice.
I'm watching it, I'm typing it or taking the transcript sometimes and then highlighting what is it I've learned.
Yeah.
So for me, highlighting those points and remembering them. So it's the points, it's reinforcing it. And if I can then talk to you about it, well, then I'm creating the experience. I meditate every day. Sorry. So you asked me a typical day and I didn't talk about exercise or meditation. I will meditate in the morning when I wake up. If I can join some of the community, we've got 3 free Zoom meditations people can join from anywhere in the world or their home during the day. And we also have walking meditations. If I can join one of those, I will. Another form of meditation that we all know how to do and we don't realize we're doing it is mental rehearsal. Yeah. So you spoke about thinking about your future and you were doing that during the walking meditation. Yeah. So if I'm thinking about, it might be that I'm in the office in the morning and I'm planning how my day is going to be. And I want to see things happening with ease and things flowing and synchronicities. You used that word earlier. I love that word. But, when we have the right vibration energy, and this is what we bring to it. Yeah. So not thinking about the challenge or the problems or the tasks, but putting a really nice energy. Yeah. And one of the things, it's taken me the longest time to learn this one, is to be kind to myself on the way. So, we become so harsh on how we judge ourselves. And, at the end of the day, if we look at what we've achieved, and let's say there's 10 things here and I've achieved 7 and I've done them really well. And there's 3, well, love myself for what I have done. Where you're human, people have got, kids running around, we've got, partners, they've got so much going on in their lives and such busy schedules. It's love themselves and just to feel good about what you have done.
Yeah. If we talk about the meditation time during the whole day, put some time into it. How long do you take? A whole day? 5, 10, 15, 1 hour? How many minutes?
More than an hour, because sometimes I'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I could just put on an hour's meditation. Absolutely no problem.
Wow. So in the morning?
Yeah.
For an hour?
Early in the morning. And it'll depend on the day. And if I'm working late the night before, sometimes I've late follow-up calls. So it really varies. I do try to take some time to doing some breath work, which I love because we can change the chemistry in our body just by doing this. Wim Hof, app is there. There's a free version of the app, and I think there's 4 or 5 different breathing exercises, so people can do that. There's many others. So doing some breath work, again, it's free. You can do it any place, any time. Your question on the meditation. In the morning, I do one at nighttime as well. I always do one going to sleep. So, and that could be another hour, and
Wow.
but it could be half an hour. It really depends. But the more I can meditate, for me, it's staying in a positive vibration. Yeah. And the more I connect with that vibration frequency, which is there, it's available to all of us. Yeah. And this is where when young people come to me and do the training, and they learn how to connect to the vibration frequency that's there, I'm going, wow, that person's that they're changing their own lives.
That's so true.
Yeah.
In the beginning, of course, it did not come all of a sudden for you to go for an hour or a couple of hours. So how was it in the beginning? Like, because you had to bring yourself into a routine as a habit, and now you're enjoying it, but it takes time to reach there. So how was that in the beginning?
So over the years, so doing plenty of yoga and different types of meditation, okay, and using different apps, okay, so... but I think, like many other people, this analytical mind and this to-do list, starts creeping in sometimes, and you kind of go. So it's been a journey over the years, but to really get to where I've been doing serious quantum meditation, it started with when I found Becoming Supernatural. Oh, yeah. And I found out that I could go and do an advanced retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza. So and through the book, I learned that, waking up at, between 1 and 4 o'clock, this is a really good time. So I thought, okay, let's start at 4 o'clock in the morning. And the first morning I set the alarm. I'd also purchased some additional meditations of his because I wanted to be as good as I could before I got to my first advanced retreat, because I wanted to get as much out of this amazing experience. So first morning I set the alarm. Second morning I just woke up and I just continued from there. And so I would initially, sit up and start the meditations, and I would go in and out of, being totally focused out of, and it just like a habit, and it's just like developing that muscle. It just got better and better. So it's hard to put an exact time frame on it. Yeah. But I love that they're guided, because for me, if my mind starts to wander, and then I was like, okay, lovingly come back. And, so that would happen less and less. But, still I'll have a day where I'm going in meditation, and just the next thing, come back. So I can get back quicker than I used to, but again, that's just practice. So again, it's loving ourselves on the journey.
Yeah, that's so important that, of course, in the beginning, it happens with everyone. Your mind is more of a monkey mind, just jumping here and there. You have to bring it back. You have to focus on the present moment. And if it is a guided meditation, as you said. So for the audience, let me tell that the books we are talking about is Dr. Joe's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It was a big transformation in my life, and it was a journey. And I'm sure for you the same. You are the placebo. It also gave a lot of strength to us, how our thoughts can create, can make us sick or can make us well. So this, if you want to learn, just again, Dr. Joe's books, You're the Placebo. Love the book. And what Neave is talking about is Becoming Supernatural. So we are on the same page because we read the same books. So, and we talk about the same things, and we are practicing the same things. A lot of good meditations also mentioned, the guided meditations. If people want to take this path, definitely it's a long journey. It's all about making the habits, unlearning and learning the new habits. The old habits will be unlearned, so the new habits will be learned. So then you will be on the path, because our brain works with the automatic behavior, as we talked about. With the more you practice, the habit starts to build, and this is what you do it. Coming to this, making your habits. It's not easy thing, especially as Dr. Joe mentioned about by the mid-age we reach to the 30, 35 years of age. So we are living with the habits which we have already built, and then breaking those habits and forming a new ones. It's not impossible. It's still possible, but you have to work a little bit harder to bring it into the practice. When we are talking about building habits, so the point of neuroplasticity comes. If you could talk about in the easy terms for the people to understand about the neuroplasticity, it's going to help our audience?
Okay, so we said the brain is neuroplasticity. And what does this mean? It means that the brain has the ability to create a new neural network. When we create a network and we do something enough times, we do it again and again, the network becomes stronger. Okay, as I said, like going to the gym or walking a treadmill or going for a 5-minute walk tomorrow. And the next day, you know what, I'm going to do 8 minutes the next day and 10 the following day. So I'm building up those muscles. So we're building up this network in our brain. And when it comes to meditation and staying focused, so what we're trying to do is quieten the mind, and we want to switch off our analytical mind. So the more we can stay in just the present moment, and this is, being in the present moment, and the more we can do this, and there's some tribes out there who only have words and languages, and Greg Braden talks about this a lot, and only for the present moment, so they don't go to the past. Everything is present, everything is living, back to plasticity. So the more we do it, the more networks we develop, and then the less we do something. So the less time I spend watching TV or sitting on the sofa, and the more time I do my new habit, I'm creating a new neural network for my new habit. But over here, that old habit, the network will eventually start to prune away. And that's when there's, a lot of discomfort, because the body wants to do it. It wants to stay on the sofa. It wants to stay, watching that soap, whatever it is. Whatever you're choosing that you want to add in, break away. So you can create new networks. You can prune away those old networks. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, I think everybody understands that what the neuroplasticity is. So just pruning away your old habits, what you're doing, and just making the new neural connections. And the more and more you keep doing the things, so you kind of form a community of the neural network pathways, and that becomes stronger, and then that becomes a part of you. And it starts to happen automatically in your life. So we live with the habits. So the old habits and the new habits, if you want to build. So we can just take the old habits out of our life and take the new habits. So build the new habits. This is what I think. But the neuroplasticity, I think it's a concept which everybody should understand how it works in our brain and why we can't do it. So mindset is something which is said is 80%. And the other things are 20%. So efforts and whatever you want to do, but 80% is a mindset. What kind of a mindset people should have? And how do you make people's mindset towards growth and success in their life?
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to go back to, we talked about our thoughts and controlling our thoughts. Mindset, having our, whatever it is I'm going to do today, what do I want to create today? So it starts off in the morning. And for some people, they like to have a to-do list, or so when I get to the end of the day and I go, what have I achieved today? Wow, isn't that amazing? And then, is there anything different I'd like to add into tomorrow? So the mindset is how we view our situation, how we tell the story, how we define it. So you asked, how do we use this for growth? Well, if I can stay in a positive mindset and I've got targets that I can achieve, and I need to celebrate those successes. So yes, I've done that today, day one. That's a milestone. Congratulations. I think, when you go back to the gym or exercise and you haven't been, you should automatically lose some weight just for getting there. But the mindset being us choosing it and believing in ourselves and being compassionate with ourselves, not just with others. So defining the goal, what it's going to be, loving ourselves for reaching where we do, and continue on that. So now you're talking about growth and success. So you're probably talking about, I'm going to say something more longer term and maybe a bigger term. I know I've broken it down to the day. And I've done the day because if I can manage today, then I can manage tomorrow. Then I can manage a week, and then I can manage a month. So long-term goals, but short-term measurable goals with success. Celebrate our successes. Love ourselves for what we do achieve and for the changes we make.
Beautiful. The way you explained it. We should celebrate even the smaller successes. Nothing is small or big because you're building it up, and you appreciate yourself, you celebrate your successes, and this is most important. And I think it had been a wonderful time talking to you. I'm sure I learned so many things from you today, and our audience must have learned quite a lot today with this discussion in this podcast. In the end, I would say, if you want to give a message to the people, those who are listening to this podcast, so what that message would be?
I would say take a moment to be mindful. And what is it I really want to achieve today? I would say love yourself. And remember, we can breathe and we can slow down. Remember, we spoke about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So just by using breath, we talked about the box breaths. Yeah. So in for 5, exhale, hold 5, exhale for 5, hold. So use your breath to lower your brain waves. And remember to tune into your heart's intelligence. This is a beautiful intelligence. It's there. It's free. It's available to all of us. And ask for help every day. You know, there is assistance there from whatever you want to call it. But we have to ask. You know, if you're happy being unhappy, you know, the universe is going to leave you being unhappy. But if you want change and ask for assistance, it will help you. So you just need to let it know what it is you want on this journey. That answer the question?
This is a beautiful message. Thank you very much once again.
And thank you, Kashif.
Lovely to have you, Neave, today.
Thank you.
And it's my really pleasure to have you today.